I thought I'd try something a little different for this video. I'm gonna take some time and actually talk through some of the mechanics and setups I used here so that anyone can follow along, even if they don't actually play Etrian Odyssey. Now, if you couldn't gather from the title, this video is about getting as many link procs as possible in one turn. To be more specific, the goal is to activate as many link follow-up hits as I can in one turn on one target. To give a brief overview of link mechanics for anyone who may not fully understand them, links are a landshark skill that basically mark the target when used. Then if an ally damages the same target after that in the same turn, a link follow-up hit will proc. Now with improved link, the maximum number of follow-up attacks for a single link skill becomes 8. If a skill used by another party member hits multiple times, then it can trigger multiple link procs, up to a maximum of 4 from a single action. Now the more hits a multi-hit skill does, the higher the chance of reaching that full 4 procs. Only the first one is guaranteed, the next 3 are just chance-based, with a chance going down every time. And this is why conventional link parties just have 1 link user and then 2 to 3 link proccers, just to go for that 8 procs total. Now with all that out of the way, what if we just want to aim for as many procs as possible? For starters, we're going to need at least 1 more link user. With 2 link users, that'll bring us up to a potential maximum of 16 total link procs in one turn. Now, an enemy can't be affected by 2 links at the same time. We're going to need to fully proc all the links from one of the link users, then apply the second link, then proc all the links from the second user. We'll also need to look into proccing more links with fewer characters. The maximum number of link procs from a single action may be 4, but it's possible for a character to take multiple actions in one turn. One such way is with Nightseeker's Follow Trace. You can, for example, run a Nightseeker sub-sniper to combine Follow Trace with Squall Volley, which is the biggest multi-hit skill in the game. Follow Trace gives you a 50% chance to use Squall Volley again, and each Squall Volley can proc 4 links, letting one character proc 8 links at once. You run 2 link users and 2 Nightseeker sub-snipers, and you can proc 16 links in one turn, and that's with a whole party member left to spare. Now comes the tricky part. What does it take to go beyond 16 procs? Again, for starters, we're going to need a 3rd link user. Now the last 2 party slots could be Nightseeker sub-snipers, which lets us get to 16 again. But now we're out of characters left to proc links, so we need to look into some alternate ways to get link procs out. One of the easiest ways is with Chase Samba. So you slap a few dancer subs around and each Chase Samba is a guaranteed link proc. Chase Samba can even potentially proc a second link, but it would need another hit from somewhere to follow up on. Additionally, Chase Samba is only going to be applying to the row the user is in, and it can't do follow-up hits on your own attack. We're going to need more than just that. Thankfully, there is something else we can make use of, that being Vengeance Bash. Vengeance Bash is a fortress skill that does a hit at the end of the 3rd turn after the initial use. We can set up Vengeance Bash beforehand to get some extra link procs. Vengeance Bash can also proc Chase Samba, letting each Chase Samba proc 2 links total if a Vengeance Bash user is in the same row. 1 Vengeance Bash and 2 Chase Samba users in the same row gives 5 total extra link procs, 1 from Vengeance Bash and 4 from Chase Samba. You can throw Vengeance Bash on the last 2 party members and add another 2 link procs in, reaching a total of 7 extra link procs, for a total of 23 procs in one turn, if all that can be fit onto one team. But here's where the problems start. We're going to need 3 subclasses used on Fortress, as well as 2 on Dancer. That means Nightseeker won't be able to sub-sniper for Squall Volley. Luckily, Nightseeker has Swift Edge, which is a multi-hit move as well, though unluckily Swift Edge doesn't hit as many times as Squall Volley, meaning our chances of success is going to drop. I'll go more into that later. And another problem, we can't waste Chase Samba procs, and we can't stop them from happening, so the Chase Samba procs, and by extension the Vengeance Bash procs, must be used on the first link user in the turn. But Vengeance Bash happens at the end of the turn. We'd still need 2 link users and 2 link proccers to somehow go after Vengeance Bash. Fortunately, there is a way to have this happen. Rearguard can allow a character to act at the end of the turn as well, and this action can happen after Vengeance Bash hits. All that's needed is to arrange it so that everything happens in the correct order that it should. Now, you may think that sounds easy. It is not. I'll spare you all the details, but understand that getting Rearguard and Vengeance Bash interactions to happen in the right order just makes no sense. There's seemingly no logic to it, so I basically just had to keep trying possible setups until I found one that worked. It's why you're going to see one of the land sharks just chilling in the back row, because it was the only way I could actually get everything to work out. Now with that all taken care of, there's just one last detail to cover. This is only giving 23 procs. How do I get the 24th? One possibility is to use Panic, because when a panicked enemy hits itself, it can actually proc a Link follow-up. This isn't ideal though, since it introduced more RNG. I actually have to land Panic and get it to hit itself. Thankfully, there's no need to actually bother with any of that. You see, the initial hit of a Link skill will actually proc a hit of the previous one, and then start its own effect on the target. This actually gives the 24th proc with no additional effort required. Now there's just one last thing to cover before the actual video, and it's my personal favorite part, the probability of pulling this off. To give a rundown of all the RNG, we're using 2 Chase Sambas, and each one is hitting twice, so the second hit has a 50% chance of proccing, so that's 2 coin flips right there. We're also going to need 2 Follow Trace procs on the Night Seekers, so that's another 2 coin flips. Now each Swift Edge also needs to proc 4 links. I'll spare you the details, but by my math, a single Swift Edge has about a 30% chance to do that. And that needs to happen 4 times. But that's all the RNG involved. That brings our total success rate to 0.0005, or 0.05%. Now that's pretty bad, but I mean I've dealt with similar odds and managed to pull it off. The chance is also actually a little bit higher than that, since the second link only needs 7 total procs, because the third one can come in and proc the 8th, just like the second is doing for the first. I've already got the successful attempt recorded, so all that's left is to watch it. I don't have room for an Imperial subclass anywhere, which means relying on Combat Gong for rearguard. You'll see the front row Night Seeker applying rearguard to everyone. You can see the third Land Shark chilling in the back row, and again that's in order to get all the rearguard actions and Vengeance Bashes happening in the right order. I'm setting up Vengeance Bashes on turn 3, so those will be ready to go on turn 6. This turn is for setting up Improved Link. And now Chase Sum is all that's left to set up. So I have each Land Shark using a different link element, and that'll make it easier to distinguish the link procs. And all that's left is to count the link procs. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fire, then 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13, 14, 15, 16 for ice, and all that's left is electric. 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21, 22, 23, 24 link procs in one turn. Now a few final points to wrap things up. Is 24 the most procs you can get against a single target in one turn? The answer would be yes, because to go beyond 24 you'd need a 4th link user, and at that point there's just not enough link proccers. However, it is possible to go beyond 24 against multiple targets. It would actually be possible to get all the way to 32. Now let me just go over what that would require. So you'd have to have 4 link users obviously, and then a sniper sub-Night Seeker for the final party member. Each link user would use a link skill on a different enemy. The sniper would then use Squall Volley, roll the max hits of 16, hit each target exactly 4 times, and then each of those 16 hits would have to proc a link. The sniper would then need to proc Follow Trace, roll 16 hits again, hit each target exactly 4 times again, and have each hit proc a link again. That would give 16 plus 16, or 32 procs total. But the odds of that are just so astronomically low that it might not actually be physically possible, given that there's only so many possibilities of a random seed. I'll settle for 24 links and move on. And that's the end of the video. I always have fun making Etrian Odyssey content, though I don't know if taking the time to actually record myself is going to be worth the effort. Now, I've actually been playing a lot of Genshin Impact recently. I've been entirely free to play and have actually been really enjoying it. With patch 1.1 coming out soon, I'm thinking of trying to make some Genshin Impact content, so I'll have to see how that goes. Anyway, that should cover everything. I'll see you next time.